Imagine this, you driving along a frozen Ardennes road in December 1944. Snow crunches under the tires. The forest seems too quiet, and suddenly you're stopped by an American patrol. They smile, wave, check your papers, and tell you the road ahead is clear. You thank them, move on, and follow their directions. But there's one problem. Those Americans aren't Americans at all. They're German soldiers wearing American uniforms, riding in captured American jeeps, speaking English just well enough to fool you. And the directions they just gave lead your entire convoy straight toward disaster. This is not a movie plot. This happened. This was Operation Greif, one of the most audacious deception missions of the Second World War. In the final months of 1944, Nazi Germany was collapsing. The Eastern Front was crumbling under Soviet pressure. Allied forces were pushing in from the West, and the Reich was running out of men, fuel, and time. In this desperate moment, Hitler approved a plan for a massive counterattack through the dense, snow-covered Ardennes forest. The goal was bold: split the Allied forces, recapture strategic ground, and force a negotiated peace. This plan would become known as the Battle of the Bulge. But Hitler wanted more than just tanks and infantry charges. He wanted confusion, he wanted hesitation, and he wanted fear. From this desire for chaos came the bizarre idea of sending German soldiers into battle disguised as Americans. To lead such a daring mission, Hitler chose Otto Skorzeny, already famous for rescuing Mussolini from captivity in a spectacular glider assault. Skorzeny was bold, inventive, and willing to break every rule in the book. When ordered to create a special unit that would slip behind Allied lines disguised as U.S. troops, he set to work immediately. The plan sounded simple, but was incredibly difficult in practice. Skorzeny needed men who spoke fluent English with American accents, who understood American behavior, slang, and military protocols. Out of thousands of volunteers, only a handful truly knew the language. Dozens could speak it poorly. Hundreds could barely say a sentence, but the mission had to proceed anyway. These men would not need long conversations. Their job was to blend in just long enough to redirect traffic, change road signs, pass brief instructions, or cause confusion at key junctions. A salute, a gesture, a simple phrase like, "This road is blocked, take the other route." That could be enough to mislead an entire unit. But the next challenge was even harder. Authentic American uniforms, gear, and vehicles. Some were captured in previous battles, others were stolen, and many were recreated in workshops by German tailors who had never even seen an American jacket up close. They mimicked insignias, copied patches, painted U.S. stars on vehicles, and even converted German armored cars to look vaguely like American machines. They produced just enough to create the illusion, especially in winter conditions, at night, or during fast encounters on the road. On December 16, 1944, as German forces launched their surprise attack in the Ardennes, small groups of these disguised operatives slipped behind Allied lines. Their mission was not to fight head-on, but to sabotage communications, redirect columns, reverse signs, cut telephone wires, spread false information, and sow panic. And for a few critical hours it worked. Some patrols managed to send American convoys the wrong way. Others stirred confusion at checkpoints. A handful even infiltrated deeper positions and delivered misleading orders. But soon the Allies realized something was terribly wrong. Stories began circulating. The Germans are wearing our uniforms. They look American. They sound American. Fear spread rapidly. Every soldier, every officer, every driver was suddenly a suspect. Checkpoints became interrogation zones. Questions grew stranger and stranger, designed to expose imposters. What's the capital of Illinois? What's Mickey Mouse's girlfriend's name? Who plays center field for the Yankees? Men were detained simply for hesitation, a wrong answer, or even the wrong accent. In the growing paranoia, some commanders were temporarily held for questioning because bewildered guards thought they might be German agents. The psychological impact of Operation Greif was enormous. It slowed down Allied movements, caused delays, and forced commanders to waste precious time proving their own identities. Even though the actual number of German disguised soldiers was small, their perceived presence was far larger. Fear magnified their influence. Yet, for all its cleverness, the operation could not change the larger course of the war. The German offensive eventually stalled. Fuel shortages, strong Allied resistance, and overwhelming firepower turned the tide. Many of Skorzeny's disguised men were captured, and capture carried a deadly risk. Under the rules of war, any soldier caught wearing the enemy's uniform while engaging in hostile activity could be executed as a spy. Several of these men were indeed shot. Those who survived often faced brutal interrogations before being sent to prisoner camps. Skorzeny himself was put on trial after the war. His case raised a controversial question. Is it a war crime to wear the enemy's uniform for the sake of infiltration? Ultimately, he was acquitted. The judges concluded that wearing an enemy uniform for deception was not illegal unless soldiers fought in it. This ruling would influence military doctrine for decades. Over time, the legend of Operation Greif grew beyond its reality. Myths flourished, claims that Skorzeny planned to assassinate Allied generals, seize headquarters, or launch massive sabotage inside Allied territory. Most of these stories were exaggerations or rumors born from wartime fear. The real operation was smaller, subtler, and far more psychological than physical. But its impact was undeniable. It showed how fragile trust becomes in war, how a single rumor can slow an army, how one changed road sign can alter the movement of thousands, and how deception, when used skillfully, can sometimes rival firepower. Operation Greif did not win Germany the war. It did not stop the Allied advance. It did not break the Western Front, but it achieved something else, something harder to measure, yet deeply powerful. It created doubt. It created suspicion. It made every soldier wonder whether the man standing next to him was truly a friend. And that is why this strange, audacious operation remains one of the most haunting episodes of the Second World War. It reminds us that war is not only fought with bullets and tanks. It's also fought with illusions, disguises, and fear. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy isn't the one in front of you, but the one who looks exactly like you.